See the major strides made in 2017 in the Ministry of Tourism. And as the rain continues, the mosquitoes are out in greater numbers. Ways to destroy these pests. All that and more as we turn the pages of this Tuesday's edition of Jamaica Magazine. Stay with us. It promises to be an informative show.
The Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries 2017 Year in Review. Join us on January 17, 2018 on Jamaica Magazine as we look back at the Ministry's valiant efforts to sustain the industry. That's January 17, 2018, right here on this station.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, January 16. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the political party registration policy now provides a framework for accountability and transparency. Mr. Holness was speaking at the official launch on Monday.
We're all convinced that this is a good move for the country, that all the institutions and actors are aware of their role, and that this new piece of legislation will be used as intended.
The policy, which is referred to as the Political Party Registration Act 2017, is a standardized set of rules to regulate and monitor the operations of political parties. This includes the financing of political parties. To support this, Prime Minister Holness says election campaign financing regulations will come into effect on March 1 this year. For his part, Leader of the Opposition, Dr. Peter Phillips, says the legislation is an important step toward building trust in the political and electoral system.
This legislation is an important step forward in achieving greater accountability of political parties and ensuring continued regulation of their activities as part of the country's electoral system.
Under the new policy, all political parties are required to be registered with the Electoral Commission to participate in national election and referenda. Registration began on January 2 this year, and to date, only the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party have registered. Meanwhile, Chairman of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, Dorothy Pine McClarty, says the policy and accompanying legislation cement Jamaica's position as a leader in electoral reform in the Caribbean.
We are extremely proud of the outcome and feel confident that these regulations will strengthen the trust in the electoral process.
The Political Parties Registration Regulations 2017 falls under the Representation of the People Act. A 15 million gallon water treatment facility will be constructed on the Rio Cobre at Content, located near Damhead in St. Catherine. President of the National Water Commission, Mark Barnett, made the announcement at a JIS think tank on Thursday.
We have just about 50 million gallons of water flowing in that river daily, in the worst time. So it makes sense to look at a resource where I don't need to increase capital costs by putting in a storage, because once you put storage, your costs increase, and only install a treatment facility. The river itself will be the natural storage.
The treatment facility will serve Portmore, Kingston and Spanish Town, and construction is to begin later this year. Mr. Barnett says the facility will be built by a private company through a public-private partnership agreement. The Spanish Town Hospital is to receive a new ultrasound machine to improve delivery of diagnostic services. The equipment is being provided by the Japanese government's grant assistance through Grassroots Human Security Project. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton signed the $9.4 million agreement for the equipment on Monday at his ministry's New Kingston offices. Dr. Tufton thanked the ambassador of Japan, Hiromasa Yamazaki, for the contribution to the hospital. The minister also disclosed that pre-construction technical assessment was taking place to prep the hospital for upgrading from a Type B to Type A facility. Dr. Tufton said he hoped to break ground for the expansion before the end of the calendar year or soon after. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information has launched an investigation to determine the cause of a fire which destroyed the Walker's Place of Safety early Tuesday morning.
many things go through your mind when you have to deal with these issues. First, you want to make sure that there was no issue of negligence or delinquency on the part of any state official. We say these things are accidents, but accidents are things that are unpreventable. So you really want to establish that this was unpreventable, truly an accident. And so, you know, just from a administrative point of view, a ministerial point of view, I've asked Minister Green and Minister Reid to take a second look to review the policies and procedures to ensure that the places of safety are actually safe places for our children.
2 children died in the fire. The remaining 34 children are now being temporarily housed at a nearby church.
We've already identified 3 homes which we will use to house the children. They're already in our existing child protection facilities. Clearly what we have started today is to start the counseling sessions with our children, ensure that they're in a state of mind that they can move, and that's very, very important to us. But the plan is to move them today, and we have identified a suitable accommodation.
State Minister Floyd Green says the Child Protection and Family Services Agency will be communicating with the parents of the 2 deceased children. In the meantime, the fire department is conducting an investigation to determine the cause of the blaze. The Walker's Place of Safety serves as a transitional residence for children up to 12 years old who have been abandoned or removed from their homes because of unstable conditions. The home provides food and shelter along with access to educational services and health care. And finally, the Portland Fire Department is reporting a 100% increase in the number of persons made homeless due to fires in 2017 when compared with the previous year. Deputy Superintendent of the Portland Fire Division, Wendell Patterson, says 34 adults and 22 children were rendered homeless as a result of fires in 2017. That's compared to 22 adults and 6 children in 2016. Deputy Superintendent Patterson was updating Thursday's sitting of the Portland Municipal Corporation. He said in 2018 the Portland Fire Department would be intensifying its inspection drive as most buildings in the parish were found not adhering to fire safety procedures.
Just to highlight that we have inspected 508 buildings in 2017. And of these 508, only 64 of them are certified. We will be intensifying our educational drive to ensure that persons put in all the necessary fire safety equipment to ensure that their businesses, their properties, and the occupancies are safe in the event of a fire.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
Let's get a little breeze on this land. All right. Now let's get some bounce in the rhythm. All right. Let's get some fire on our hearts. Now that is what we call all right. Run, come, get some Jamaica.
Up next, the major developments out of the Ministry of Tourism, which marked record-breaking achievements in 2017. Take a look.
The over 4 million visitors who vacationed in Jamaica in 2017 were largely driven to our shores through 5 tourism networks.
Those are the 5 networks that will drive the 5 pillars of growth to give us 5 million visitors in 5 years, earning $5 billion at a growth rate of 5%. We said we would grow the industry by an average of 5% over 5 years. We are growing now at nearly 9%. Last figure was 8.9%. And we are growing the revenue by 10.8%. It's about 11%.
As investments rolled in to support those numbers, the accommodations sector welcomed more than 1,000 rooms in 6 new hotels that came on stream in 2017. And the Tourism Enhancement Fund and National Export-Import Bank collaborated to allocate $350 million in loans to the operators of small and medium-sized tourism enterprises.
When I looked at the pie chart that showed me how the loans were distributed, I feel comforted that the linkage program is working, because the loans are going, and I just want to indicate to you, accommodation was 21%, transportation 25%, shopping, that's getting into its own, right? 6%, manufacturing 9%, gastronomy 5%, services 9%, spas and wellness 2%, attractions 17%.
The Jamaican tourism sector staged the region's biggest conference in November. More than 200 world leaders and delegates converged in Montego Bay for the United Nations World Tourism Organization's Conference on Sustainable Tourism.
This is already beginning to look like another General Assembly. I thought we got one behind us. It looks like you are actually making it happen.
The Knowledge Network was also enhanced with the signing of a MOU for the establishment of a Craft Development Institute in St. Anne. Government is partnering with the Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts.
What we are doing is to create the capacity to expand the range and diversity of indigenous products while providing a marketing outlet, an appropriate marketing facility.
In addition, early 2017 saw the signing of a partnership agreement for the design and development of the Jamaica Center for Tourism and Innovation. It should be opened in 2018 at the Montego Bay Convention Center. 2017 also saw the resumption of the Tourism Service Excellence Program TSEP Awards.
Jamaica has a record of repeat business, primarily because our service levels are at a very high standard.
The Tourism Minister also launched the Destination Assurance Council to ensure that the quality, standards and integrity of the tourism product are maintained.
It's my pleasure now to declare open the first gastronomy center of Jamaica, Devon House, for the gastronomic delights of Jamaica and the world.
This was a catalyst for the island to take advantage of a booming food tourism sector.
Jamaica's private dental and medical sector, which provides high-quality services at lower cost than in the US and the UK.
That message was received, and a few noteworthy health and wellness businesses set up shop in Jamaica last year, boosting the medical tourism sector. Another significant milestone was the launch of the Jamaica Tourism and Health Program. Visitors are now able to shop more at ease, as 93 men and women were trained under the Tourism Product Development Company's District Constable DC program.
And this will replace the traditional courtesy corps as we have now. And we believe that this will go a long way in helping to build out the destination assurance that we market so seriously out there and for which people are responding so well.
More Jamaicans also shopped locally for Christmas gifts, as the ministry connected hundreds of shoppers with souvenir suppliers at the Christmas in July mega shopping show. By year-end, an app was also launched connecting the tourism and agriculture sectors, plugging in visitors looking to buy local agricultural produce. The Tourism Ministry partnered with Carnival stakeholders to market Jamaica as an entertainment destination.
5 pillars relate to new products, new markets, new investments, new partnerships, and a renewal of our human capital.
The year 2017, when more Jamaicans earned through the tourism sector as the ministry provided linkages across the country for economic wealth and job creation.
is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them. A message from the Ministry of Health.
In light of the recent rains, a reminder to householders to check your surroundings for mosquito breeding sites. Let's prevent a spread of vector-borne illnesses such as malaria or dengue.
Mosquitoes are undoubtedly annoying, with their irritating sound and stinging bites. But there are more compelling reasons we'd rather not have them around. Several species are carriers of diseases and a threat to human health. Of most significance to Jamaica is the Aedes aegypti mosquito, known to transmit dengue fever, chikungunya, yellow fever, and the Zika virus. Only female mosquitoes bite, doing so to get the blood they need for egg production. And therefore, only female mosquitoes transmit these viruses.
The Aedes aegypti mosquito is what we call a timid feeder. So she's easily disturbed when feeding. It means that in one night, she may feed on several persons before she takes her complete blood meal. Each time she feeds, she secretes that substance. And in the secretion of the substance, the pathogen is passed on. So in one night, one female Aedes aegypti mosquito is able to infect more than one person.
The female Aedes aegypti mosquito is a prolific breeder.
One female Aedes aegypti mosquito is able to lay up to 200 eggs each time she lays her eggs. So one mosquito can populate an entire area.
The lifespan of the mosquito is around 3 weeks, and the entire cycle from egg to adult can occur in as little as 7 to 8 days. Female mosquitoes are ready to mate within a few hours after reaching their adult stage, and males are usually ready within 24 hours.
This mosquito prefers cleaner waters. For the female mosquitoes, she will lay her eggs in water, and for the Aedes, it will be water which is in and around the household.
So while there are a number of things we can and should do to prevent being bitten, the most effective way to prevent the spread of diseases by these mosquitoes is to prevent their breeding.
The Aedes aegypti mosquito is a mosquito that breeds in a containerized environment. They do not breed in rivers and drains, but they breed in containers that can be found in and around where persons dwell. So come with us and let us show you some of those breeding sites. This is a typical dish drainer that we find in most homes. And under most dish drainer is a tray that collects the water that comes off the dishes. And believe it or not, we have found breeding in several homes in these dish drainers. Yes. You can see that we have water that has settled. If this water does not evaporate quickly, it can lend itself to the breeding of the Aedes aegypti mosquito. So you not only have to empty the dish drainer, but you have to scrub to remove those eggs. This is the typical saucer that we will find under a plant. The rain has recently fallen, it has collected water, and right now it is steaming with the Aedes aegypti mosquito. Do you have some of these in your home? Aedes aegypti prefers water that is a little bit on the cleaner side, and it's found in a shaded environment. So what should we do with something like this? It's quite simple. You need to throw away the water. And if these containers are not being used, you have to keep them turned down so they're not able to collect water. If you have them under your plants, we ask that you bore holes in them so that it will not collect water. Do you have these in your homes? We find these in a lot of hotels and business places. And we ask those persons, check these bird baths or any ornamental things like these you have in your garden to ensure that they are not breeding the Aedes aegypti mosquito. There are things like this thrown down in persons' backyard. Old equipment, old furniture, old fixtures that are taken from homes, especially during construction. These are also able to hold water. And if they're holding water and sit for a while in the environment, they will also breed mosquitoes. And so we have found breeding in wheelbarrows, in old refrigerator, in old sinks such as this one. And we ask persons, if you're throwing out these, please ensure that they are positioned in such a way that they will not collect water.
Many persons, when they do have their drums, most times drums do not have any covers. So there is a mesh cover which is so designed to replace the missing covers. It is lightweight, and what we do is just simply slip it over, and the mesh is so designed mosquitoes will not be able to go through this mesh to get to the water. So this is the ideal way. One of the benefits also of this mesh is that even when rain does fall, water will go right through it. This is a typical example where this we have is a plastic drum, and we have a metal cover here which is not designed for this. Whilst in some practice the intent is good, there may be occasions in which it does not fit or sit properly, and as a result you still have openings where mosquitoes can go right through and breed.
The mosquito is breeding right there in some very small places right around where you live. What is the habit we want you to develop? Once every week, search for and destroy the breeding sites of the Aedes aegypti mosquito.
Don't make diseases spread. Wash your hands with soap and water instead. Wash them regular or use a hand sanitizer. Make sure the germs them dead. Touching your eyes or your mouth or your nose. Wash your hands before you do things like those. After you use the bathroom before preparing food, come on, wash your hand them clean. Sweet Jamaica, we not left ya. Chop yam and banana, we not left ya.
Finger licking jerk chicken, Helcher fish and bami. We run down yam and banana, roast breadfruit, sweet potato pudding. Jamaica food sweet. So let's make a pledge to use more local produce and less foreign goods. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow.
Sweet Jamaica, we not left ya.
Our primary responsibility is twofold. We have responsibility for the prevention of introduction of any plant pests into Jamaica that may affect not just agriculture but also our environment. But of course you understand the importance of it affecting agriculture because agriculture remains one of the major drivers of growth in this country. Our other major function is that we do the certification of exports, that's agricultural exports leaving Jamaica. Again, another major responsibility because the export of agricultural produce, of course, is also important to Jamaica and Jamaica's economy. So we have those two. We execute our functions really by doing one of two things. We provide import permits for the import of all plants and plant products, and that's how we ensure that whatever risk these plant and plant products pose, then we're able to actually indicate to our trading partners what's Jamaica's requirement. And when that product would have entered Jamaica, we also do inspection. On the other hand, we do the certification and treatment of agricultural produce again, the yam, the scallion, the Irish potatoes, etc., leaving Jamaica to other countries. We also work with our stakeholders in ensuring that we constantly monitor the pest status, and that is of new pests into the country. Maybe one of the recent pests that we had introduced into Jamaica would have been the frosty pod rot of cocoa, and that would have been in our recent memory. And so we work with the other divisions of the ministry, particularly the research and development unit, in actually executing our function. All right, so one of the agencies that we work with will be the Customs Authority. And we say that they perform agency function for the plant quarantine branch. And so they do have X-ray machines where they're actually looking for agricultural items at the port of entries. So that includes both the seaport as well as the airports.
We're in an age now of commerce, e-commerce, where we can shop online. We carry the beauty of our home, the comfort of our home, and we buy anything online. But the threat posed with that is that we still need to protect our border. So things can come straight to your doorstep. However, you still need to apply for import permit. The beauty of a plant quarantine unit is that now we also are technology savvy. So the import unit also you can apply for import permit online. So you can just go to the Ministry of Agriculture, MOA Trade website and apply for your permit. So whilst you're shopping online in the comfort of your home, use the same comfort and apply for your import permit. Secondly, we're looking at seeds. Seeds nowadays are easily packed, they are small, easily hidden, and those are contraband that can come into the country. We want to ensure that ministry is driving production, so everybody wants to bring in seeds. However, these seeds still need to have an import permit. Tourism is there, as we all know, is our bread and butter, and it is we can't do it without tourism. However, if we destroy the sector, our tourism is also going to destroy. Everybody wants to see Jamaica being beautiful, right? So we implore on the tourism sector, all the players in it, to ensure that they tell their tourists to ensure that when they come to the country, keep their fruits and vegetables on board, whether it's on the ship or in the aircraft. Because we have a situation on the cruise ship when people going back onto the ship, we are seeing a proliferation of fruits and vegetables. So what we're asking you to do is just ensure that enjoy it on board, don't take it out. Because we have a situation in our neighboring country where one of the major food fly, but which if we get that, the entire country's export is shut down. That has been, has introduced to that country by way of tourism. They have proven that. Traceability have allowed them to do that. So we want to employ on the tourism sector. We need it, but at the same time, we need to protect our sector. Another thing that we look at, farm worker. Farm worker, we all need that. I mean, the farm worker, they move from different countries. And one of the things with farm workers is that everything they want to keep at the Jamaica to plant. Everybody wants to. Because Jamaica, the climate here is conducive to production. So they're going to take everything. Don't hide it in your shoes. Don't hide it in your jacket. Just apply for import permit.
And something works perfectly in England. England is not Jamaica. You know, even if you bring in a new variety and they say it's supposed to grow well in this temperature, you have different situations in Jamaica. Besides the climate, you also have the social behavior of farmers. While you may always plant your plants in Manchester, that's where it's predominantly grown, it may grow fine there, but if you want to plant it in St. Thomas, it may not. And these are the type of things that the research division now investigates. So it's not only at our local area in Old Harbour, but we also do the research in other farms over the island to ensure that wherever you carry it, it would actually work. And if it doesn't, you knew beforehand.
It is illegal for you to bring any plant product in the country without a permit. You'll be fined and you'll be sent to prison if you do not adhere to the law.
If you intend any at all to import any plant and plant product, and we say to you, if you're not certain whether or not you need a permit, call the Ministry of Agriculture Plant Quarantine Branch and we will be able to advise you. We do have a Facebook page, we do have a Twitter page. So any means that you use to communicate with us, we will get that information to you.
And this is where the pages close for today. Catch our Ministry Year in Review features anytime at your leisure. Just click on our website or our YouTube channel. Our social media sites also have loads of information on other matters which you may find useful. Until then, come back tomorrow on this same station when we explore other policies and programs being implemented by the government. I'm Theodore Henry. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.